There we go.
Hi, everybody. My name is Tanisha Wolf. I'm an HR manager with the ISSA.
And I'm Brady Dodson. I'm also an HR generalist.
Thanks for coming today. We just wanted to have our annual conference on how everybody's doing, how we are keeping you up to speed with our
Ethical standards,
yeah.
yeah? All right, well, we'll start off first with you. What's your name?
Nixon?
All right, Nixon. What do you think of electronic monitoring of people and employees in the workplace?
This is related to personal information, and then it's done by so-called electronic eyes. What companies says they are trying to increase productivity of their employees, but the problem is this is decrease the productivities of employees because they have fear of being watched all the time.
What's your personal stance on this?
Me personally, I think company has the right to do that in the case they feel like someone is not doing what he's supposed to be doing.
Okay, so you probably have a negative stance on merging databases together which contain personal matters?
Yes, this is a huge problem now, and it does coincide with ethics. What should be done, what should not be done, and the question is if companies should also be retaliating to those hackers. I think we should be setting up examples and
Good
then good standards, and then try to be more ethical, and then maybe protect our machines against those sort of acts.
Okay.
Good.
Well, did you know that the IDC research company believes that employees misuse their company's internet 30 to 40%?
Well, I kind of have an idea, but I'm not sure. Sometimes it depends to the morals of employees.
Well, that can be a waste of up to $1 billion. So do you believe that that misuse should be monitored?
It should be monitored, but to a certain extent, in a way that employees don't have that kind of fear that they are not trusted.
Do you feel there's a way that you can reduce fear in the workplace?
Yes, it's have employees be part of the planning and also feel like they own the company.
Okay.
They have to contribute as much as they can.
Well, thank you, Nixon. I
Looks like,
appreciate your input.
Somebody's here for you.
Yeah, I think someone's at the door. You gotta go?
Yes, I have to go now.
All
I think
right.
some technical issues.
Thank you for being here today, Nixon.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Nice
it.
to meet you.
Thank you. Well, we can continue on today. We'll conclude with you guys. Can we get your names?
I'm Elizabeth.
Elizabeth?
Mackenzie.
And Mackenzie, okay. You want to fire away?
Yeah, so what does section 2701 of the Stored Communication Act address?
So it provides punishment for anybody who intentionally accesses an electronic communication system without authorization.
That's right on. What does honesty mean in business and information technology?
Well, I think that honesty means that it's a person's duty to understand the truth and act in a truthful way in how we communicate and also how we conduct ourselves.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So now that emailing has become more popular, it has raised many ethical questions. What are some ethical issues you have not noticed?
We've noticed that how people perceive what is said in the emails could be different from how it's actually supposed to be perceived, and that we would never truly know where the email is coming from, and that personal emails and work emails are getting mixed together.
Especially important in information technology, as far as if I need some help with the database and I tell you something that's wrong and you fix the wrong thing, you can mess everything up.
Yeah. Well, what is honesty especially important when it comes to companies and reporting?
Well, it's especially important because a report that provides misleading information leads to stakeholders making decisions based on the wrong numbers. And stakeholders do have the right to the accurate information when they decide if they want to invest in the company or not.
Okay. Sounds really good.
So what are some standard operating procedures you implement to all employees when communicating?
So we make sure that all of our employees know our privacy policy, and that if something is absolutely private, they use different means of and use their phone or something, that they make sure that they know where the email is coming from, who it's coming from, and why, and that they use proper etiquette when communicating with other employees through our emails.
So your employers know, or I'm sorry, your employees know that you are monitoring them and why. then.
Communication, yeah, that sounds like that's huge.
Right, yeah.
Well, yeah, explain the honesty and open communication between employers and our staff. Do you feel like that's really essential?
It is very important because management hides the truth. Employees usually find out and they become resentful and they feel hurt and they don't trust the managers anymore. So management really needs to be honest with their staff because that way it'll also motivate the staff and drive the business forward as well.
Exactly what we all want,
Yeah,
right?
that sounds wonderful.
Okay, so do you guys have any questions for us then?
We're gonna wrap this up here. What do you guys have for us? Do you guys have any questions?
Yeah, we do. What are the biggest reasons you have seen that companies act unethical?
Well, as we all know, greed drives a lot of
Greed,
people's
money.
actions. And your numbers, you want the public to know that you're doing
Stakeholders,
good.
yeah,
And
yeah.
if your numbers are dropping, then you're afraid of losing your customers, your stakeholders, things like that. So that's another big reason. But money's probably the biggest.
Reason I've seen issues in the
Yeah.
past.
Okay, and what has been the biggest problem that you've seen?
I believe that the surveillance and breaches of trust and conflict in between monitoring and keeping control of the company's largest assets, its employees. I believe that sometimes their emails will be personal and they'll get kind of conflicted with business. And then sometimes that breach of trust will cause constant monitoring and that costs lots and lots of money.
That's why it's great to have, that's what the purpose of the ISSA is, to keep everybody informed, have codes of conduct, keep your employees knowing what you're doing and everybody's in agreement before anything happens. So if it does, then you know exactly what to expect.
Okay.
So looks like we are done here.
Yeah,
We
we
really
can
appreciate you
conclude
guys'
this.
help and your conversations.
Thank you guys, thank you for being here
It was
today.
nice meeting you.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.